Hello, my friends. Welcome to Together Run 20. We made it to 20. Thank you for joining me today. Let's grab some piece of nature, touch something. I'm going to go down this time. Got a leaf off the ground. A little bit crunchy. Hear that? Reminds me that fall is on the way. Touch something in nature. If you are in a basement or on a treadmill, try and touch or get grounded for a second before we begin. Let's just remind ourselves that we are out here, or we are on this planet that is nature. I was trying to explain that to my daughter the other day. She was asking me what being on the planet and how all the people in the world are on the planet meant. So I was thinking about it. So ground yourself. Wherever we are in the world, we're all standing on the same planet. It's kind of cool. All right, are you ready to begin? In 3, 2, and 1. All right, friends. Wow, here this morning in St. Louis, it's about 60 degrees. What? And haven't seen that temperature, oh God, in a long time. I don't even remember the last time I saw that temperature. And I'm wearing the sports bra still. Oh, and I've forgotten my headlamp again. One of these days I'll remember it. I remember it most days, just apparently not today. Whenever I do these together runs, I always forget. But yeah, it smells amazing right now. Not sticky. Going to be able to enjoy this a little more. Have to take it carefully. And I did a workout yesterday, so this is a perfect day to do this. Okay, so if you haven't done a Together Run, if you haven't joined us before, welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I know your time is valuable. I know we're all strapped for what to listen to and don't have enough time to get through everything. So I appreciate you being here. Anytime you listen to these, and when you listen to the Running Through a Podcast episodes on Fridays, it means so much to me. I really appreciate it. And I love hearing your feedback. Don't forget to use the hashtag for today, which is TogetherRun20. So you can check in on how you're doing. And if you don't tag me in your post, I can still see it. And yeah, what we're going to begin with today, as we always do on these Together Runs, is, well, let's take a nice deep breath first. Ready? Take a nice deep breath together. That felt good. Let's do one more. Good. And we are going to begin with a body scan, as we always do. And what that means is you're going to start at the top of your head. When I tell you, you'll work your way down through your body. I will call out some parts of your body so you can pay attention to them, see what you notice about them, and see how you feel. The point of this is we've already checked in with nature, with the world we're in, and now it's time to check in with us. Zoom in, check in as individuals, see how we're feeling. So we'll do this physical check-in through a scan, we'll do a mental check-in, and then we'll check in even more detailed through our senses. Okay, so you ready? Starting at the top of your head, scanning down through your face, your eyes, your jaw, your ears, making sure if anything is clenched or tight, you're unclenching it, relaxing those eyes, going down into the back of the neck, around to the front of the neck, into the clavicle, shoulders, and working your way down your arms, upper arm, lower arm, into your hands, and back to the torso, down through your chest, into your stomach, going into your hips and pelvis, and into your quads, your hamstrings, knees, working your way down into your calves, your shins, going into your ankle, heel, arch of your foot, and finally your toes. How's your body feel? Just pay attention to anything that feels tight or stiff, or anywhere you're holding, stress, protecting maybe, noticing what stands out. For me, I have a little bit of a ache in my lower calf and maybe Achilles area. I quite often say that on these runs. But usually, by the time we do the later check-in, it feels better. So I'm just gonna be patient with that, but noticing. What about you? How is your body feeling as a whole? Okay. And mentally, if I were to ask you, how are you? What would you say? And really, how are you? Not the surface answer, not the short answer. What would you say? Thank you for being honest with me. I know you did it in your head, but for talking through what you're thinking, how you're feeling. I appreciate that. And I feel it, that we are connected. I can envision you talking to me about ups and downs that you're feeling. And I can tell you a little about me for right now. So if someone were to ask me that right now as I'm running this, I would say the first thing that comes to mind is surprise. I went out to see a show at the Muni Theatre here in St. Louis last night, which is a outdoor theatre, and didn't get to bed until probably close to 12. Didn't fall asleep. I remember looking at the clock at 12:45, and then my alarm went off at 4:45, and I was envisioning feeling terrible, and I might later. But right now I feel fine, so I'm surprised. I am excited for something I'm going to tell you about in a minute, or later on in this run. I am, what else am I feeling? Just mostly quite content, actually. Not really thinking too much about anything at all, really. I'm good. I would genuinely use that word right now. What would you say? Anything you'd add? As I've been talking, sometimes we can't really get to much at the beginning, but then as we allow ourselves to open up a little more and listen, we find there's more there. What would you say? Okay. Next, we're going to do a sense check-in as we overstimulate our eyes. That is the last one we will do. So we're going to start with smell and taste. What do you smell? And what do you taste? Do those together because they're usually attached. Take a nice deep breath if you need to. I'm really not getting much right now. The smell is just, I don't know. I don't really smell anything. And I know that's not true, but I can't differentiate or put a word to it right now. And that's my honest answer. What do you smell? What do you taste? Okay, gonna move on to hearing. It means either pop your headphones out of your ears when I tell you to, or try and remove one and pause this if you need to. But let me hear about what's in your surroundings. Well, not, I suppose you can't tell me, but listen out for what is in your surroundings. I would really love to hear and know that you are paying attention to where you are. So just take a little bit of time now and take a listen. What do you hear? Okay, what did you hear? Anything that jumped out that's different, that you don't usually hear or don't usually pay attention to? What did you feel in your environment? Before I go on to touch, just want to tell you a quick little funny story. So here in the US, well, I'm assuming they are cicadas. We can hear them now, and they're all around. And you know, you get used to the sound. If they're not cicadas, someone tell me, because this whole summer I've been assuming they are. But the other day, I was taking a few pictures in a park with a friend, Sandy, who is on the Running for Real team. And we were going to take one of me, like, leaning against the tree. And we went over to the tree, and there were, like, 5 cicadas, like sets of, like, there was multiple sets of this, not necessarily 5, but multiple cicadas, like as if they'd been crawling up the tree and then just decided to like split and leave. And then it's just like this perfect little shell of a bug with a split in its back, and it's not there. And they're like, oh, it was so gross. Seeing multiple cicadas in line, almost like an organization. Like, sorry, I'm saying like a lot. I'm trying to describe it. In formation, they were in that perfect like do 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 do, and then they just left their bodies. It was the creepiest thing to see, and I've seen odd ones around, but not little armies of them. So weird. Ugh. So I just thought of that. I think of that when I hear the cicadas now. Okay, let's move on to touch. I want you to pay attention over the next little bit. What do you feel? What do you feel in your body, on the outside of your body? Just be present within your body for just a moment and see what jumps out to you. It could be you do some open awareness and you jump from one experience, one feeling to the next, or it could be that you allow yourself to really experience what one thing feels like before you move on to what else is you're aware of. So a slower version or a quicker, jumpier version. Right, so let's just do that now. What did you feel? For me, my hands feel a little bit cold. It's a sign seasons are about to change. Although I suspect we here in St. Louis and many others have at least one more heat wave coming, and it's not going to properly cool down for a while. Feel my hands, feel my watch bouncing on my wrist. Feel my hair bouncing around too much, didn't tie it up very well. I feel my waistband hitting my stomach. I feel my feet in my shoes. And I feel the phone pressing into my hand a little. What do you feel? Okay, and finally, our sight. I want you to, I'm not going to give you as much guidance as I normally do. Let's just try it out where I'm going to use an open awareness version of your own to look around as you see fit. And just, make sure you turn your head if it's safe to do so. And you really take in things and make sure at least a few places you zoom in and pick out a small detail that you otherwise would never have noticed. Okay? Off you go. What did you notice? What were the things that you paid attention to that you otherwise wouldn't? I'd love to hear. For me, stars. Such a beautiful morning, I suppose. Night. Now that it's staying darker for longer, it's such a clear night. I'm able to see them, and I can see just all the stars right now. And it's kind of crazy to think that when you look up at the stars, what are the 3 dots? The Milky Way. Like, you can see those same stars, the same moon. And that makes us feel connected, right? If you're running in the dark, we're all running under the same moon. And if you're running in the light, we're all running under the same sun. Well, and moon, I suppose. It's cool. I love it. What else did you pay attention to? Okay. Thank you for doing a census check-in. I think today, let's stop and take a picture because we took a while with that. Just pause your watch. Take a moment. Look around you. Oh, I'm going to move over a little bit. There's a man eating at his kitchen. He's probably going to be like, what's that creepy woman doing, standing outside my house? Take a picture of yourself. Show us running together. Show me what you just saw in your census check-in. What do you see? Show me. Take a picture. Doesn't matter what it looks like. I just want to envision you and imagine we are running together. That's it. You can send it to me privately. You can send it to me or you can put it up as a post and share it and get other people doing it with the hashtag #TogetherUn20. That helps me a lot. Or whatever. Take a picture. Right, finished. Let's begin again in 3, 2, and 1. There's something that just reminded me that I was going to say about, what was it? This wasn't it, but I'll start here anyway. So there is no sponsor for today. I do want to remind you, I talked about this last week, to go sign up for my friend Sarah Canny's Rise Run retreat. It was the first and only retreat I have ever been on, and it was, life-changing. I learned so much. It taught me about connection and community on this really deep level, and many of the women who I met in person that weekend I'm still very close to. Many of them, or a few of them at least, are people you would probably recognize from me sharing about their inspiration to me. And it's just, Sarah has a knack for getting these retreats to be just so rewarding, and everyone who goes loves it. And I think it's amazing that she's now not only offering in person, which, by the way, the numbers are kept so low, so it does feel really intimate and close. But the in-person versions are amazing. But I love the fact that you can join from anywhere with the virtual ones. So cool. And she's got some amazing speakers. She's got massive swag bags for you of stuff from really cool brands. And that can be from anywhere in the world. She ships it internationally. So if you want to sign up for the Rise Run retreat in September, it's open now. The registration is open now. And if you use code TINA10, you can get yourself 10% off. go sign up. I'll put a link in the show notes. Go check it out. That said, this is not a sponsored episode. Just want to support my friend who really could help another of my friends, that's you, to feel that connection from maybe that loneliness and that fear you may be experiencing for where we are. So if that's you, go check it out. It is an amazing retreat, amazing opportunity. That said, no sponsor. If you want to support me and support these and continue these together runs, you can go support me on Patreon. I really appreciate those of you who have signed up recently. That shows me how much I mean to you. You recognize that I'm doing these most of the time for free, doing these because I want to connect with the community, along with most things I do, and the things that we're working on as a team with Running for Real are mostly free things as well. And so thank you to anyone who signed up for my Patreon. I'll put a link in the show notes so you can go sign up again. Or if anyone else wants to sign up, I should say. Now, quick note, if you are running Boston, I will be hosting an event with Knox on the Sunday morning before and Tracksmith. So Knox and I will be doing a shakeout run, probably along the course. Very easy, nice big, well, I shouldn't say big group. Used to be a big group. Might be quite intimate now. But be hosting a group run followed by some kind of event with Knox and I. We're just discussing what that is. But if you would like to come, please send me an email, tina@runningforreal.com, and I will get you signed up I'll send you a link for you to sign up once they open that. And if it happens to have a place where you can sign up already, I will put that in the show notes, so check that first. And I say about sign up just purely because with COVID, we want to keep an eye on how things are doing. That said, Running for Real, for anyone who is not running the Boston Marathon, which I recognise is most people here, we will be doing something so you can join in, potentially a watch-along, where the community can all join in together and watch it. You can stay tuned for that, and again, the best thing to do would be to sign up on my website, or our website I should say, runningforreal.com. There's plenty of places for you to enter your email, and I will be updating you with information about that nearer the time. Okay, friends, if you are in a 30-minute group, just got a few more minutes. We're going to do 2 strides when we hit the 30-minute mark. So when you hit 30 minutes, if you are just doing 30 minutes, you can slow to a walk. It'll give you a minute or 2. And then we're going to do 2 strides, which means you're going to do 2 faster, 10 to 15 second chunks. But they're not meant to be an all-out sprint around 80% of your max. And you're not trying to stride out. I know the term is counterintuitive. You're not trying to take big steps. In fact, the opposite. You're probably going to want to take more steps, but try and speed up while you're doing it. So you're just trying to open your legs out. Oh, again, that term is confusing, but you should know what I mean. Trying to wake up the legs a bit, shake off the rust, the dust, the stiffness, and just extend out for 10 to 15 seconds twice. That's all. You'll have a little walk in between. And if you're doing 45 to 60, just going to keep running we'll do the strides, but you can jog in between instead of walking. Okay, so for the 30-minute group, I love that this is an option. And I'm starting to see more of you doing the 30-minute option one day when you have a 30-minute run, and then repeating the together run another day to do the 45 or 60, which is pretty cool, thinking about me joining you on multiple runs. We are also within the community, thank you Mike Whiting, trying to figure out a way to do this live. Sounds crazy, is probably really hard, but is there a way for me to take you with me? So we're trying to figure out the logistics, and it would have to be, unfortunately, at 5 a.m. Central Time, as that's the time I run. But it's worth a try. We might test it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay, so 30-minute group. You are going to come to a walk whenever you hit the 30-minute mark. And we'll check back in a few minutes when you're going to do your strides. Why don't we all go on and have another check-in? How's your body feeling now? Ask yourself that question. Look at it as a whole, and then look at it as the parts that jump out to you. How's your body feeling? Okay. Thank you for checking in with your body. Mine's feeling a little more tired now. Might be because I'm going uphill. Probably. Okay. For the 30-minute group, or for all of us, I'm going to go into a stride in just a few seconds. Just 10 to 15 seconds, okay? You ready? 3, 2, and 1. Just picking it up. About 80% of max. You're not trying to sprint. And come to a jog or walk. Give you a little recovery time, and then we'll go again. So if we are to do some kind of live version, the idea would be you're all joining me, and we'd have an admin person who would unmute you if you wanted to ask a question while we're running. And yeah, you'd get to ask me a question and then answer it in real time. What do you think? I'd love to hear. Let us know when you share about this. Would that be something you'd want to do? Or too weird? Alright, ready to begin? In 3, 2, and 1. And so to a walk, 30-minute group, you are done. Thank you for joining me. Be sure to check out Patreon and Rise Run Retreat, and if that link for Tracksmith is there as well. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you on Friday for a Running for Real episode. Okay, 45 and 60 friends, we are still going. Oh, and I did say something exciting, so if you're a 30-minute person who wants to hear, I will say it now so that you aren't feeling like you're missing out. as you are listening to this over this past weekend, or as I record this, I'm intending this weekend, well, already be back by the time you see this, potentially. I am in Boulder, Colorado, will be, with locking myself in a cabin with Zoe Rome, who you will remember from the podcast a few months ago. And if you missed that one, go back and check it out. Zoe and I hit it off immediately. Well, we became friends because we were both talking about composting and loved composting. And friends had been telling me for years, you may remember this now I'm saying it, had been telling me for a long time, you and Zoe would be such good friends, you and Zoe. And so we met, and yeah, we clicked as much as everyone thought we would. And we're writing a book. So that's our big news. We are writing a book together. As I record this is the first time I'm saying it. I'm probably going to have put the social media post out by the end of the weekend, so you may have already seen this. But this right now is me talking about it for the first time. We're writing a book, Becoming a Sustainable Runner, and it involves 3 pillars, which are individuals, people. So becoming a sustainable runner means how to do it for life, how to make sure you are, friends. I think I might have to stop off at the bathroom. Sorry, it's, I don't want to be halfway through telling you and then have to stop and then start again. So I'm just going to, before I go any further, I saw a potty a minute ago and I'm going to go in. So you won't hear any difference, but I'm going to go pot. Okay. Second time that's happened on one of these together runs. But thankfully that one was in good condition. Okay, did I restart my watch? Nope. Off we go. Thank you for bearing with me. Part of a runner's life. I was thinking about that before I started this run this morning. That the fact that I think I knew I was going to have to stop to go to the bathroom. And the fact that it feels so incredibly uncomfortable to say that I need to go to the bathroom. And at the same time, because that's how we are in our society, but at the same time, within the running community, you don't go for a run with someone. There's no way I would have made it through 20 runs with someone without having to stop to go to, one of us having to stop to go to the bathroom or talking about going to the bathroom. Like, it's a pretty early thing in the running friendship, right? Because we all have to deal with it. We all know what it feels like. And it's just part of life as a runner. Yet, for me, doing that feels incredibly embarrassing. And I want to say, like, I'm going to cut that out. Because, yeah, it's uncomfortable in general. But, okay, so I am writing a book with Zoe Rome, Becoming a Sustainable Runner, about the 3 pillars. So you, as an individual, about people, how to stay in running for life, not burn out, not do too much too fast, trying to understand a lot of the lessons I've been saying all along about believing in who you are, not solely identifying yourself as just a runner or anything really, and about being healthy in your approach to running so it can adjust for where you're at in your life. So there's the people, individual element, the community element, how much we need one another, how that sustains us, how running as part of a community is one way to stay connected and to keep your running energized, this is the perfect example of the fact that we do this and we feel like we're together, and it's helping us, right? It's helping us to continue and to feel connected to our world. And as you can imagine, the third one is sustainable planet. How do we become the most sustainable runners we can? How do we think about these things without letting the fossil fuel industry tell us that it's all on us, and feel constant anxiety and fear and guilt because we're not doing enough? So also tackles climate justice, because racial justice, social justice is climate justice. So we talk about that too. So I'm excited. This is with a publisher. No, it's not me self-publishing, so a lot more is on the line, a lot more intimidating, and I'm glad I have Zoe with me to do it together. So yeah, it's my big news. We'll be coming out fall of 22, which is so strange to say, by the way, with when I wrote Overcoming Amenorrhea, which, I bet that's bad writing in terms of I would change so much now. I wasn't really, I don't know, I guess I've improved my writing a lot in 3 years, I think. And anyway, with that, I just kind of sat down and wrote on a Google Doc one giant thing, had some people just edit it gently. Sally, thank you for that, as one of many, or one of a few, and then just put it on Amazon and put it on my website, and that was the end of it. This is, you have a book tour, and you have, publishing, you have announcement, you have loads of revisions. We've already submitted 2 chapters, and the amount of back and forth it went through was crazy. And it's not, by the way, when I always used to hear people saying about getting book revisions, I thought it was things like, spell check, or take this sentence out, or, let's give me an example of this thought or something. But it is actually more like, this doesn't make sense, redo this entire section, or move this all around, or I don't see the point of this, please explain. Very broad, and makes you question, like, am I any good at this? This seems like an awful lot of changes you're asking me to make. And so it's a pretty I don't want to say emotional, but testing experience, and I can see why those with, Brene Brown budgets, or Lauren Fleshman, I'm sure hers is going to be incredible, see why they say what they do about the book writing process. But that said, I'm very excited for the opportunity, and it's talking about the 3 things that I love in our sport and in our world. And so, it's a big thing. I'll be telling you more about it along the way, I'm sure. Maybe I'm going to work out some concepts with you on runs in the future. We'll see. But thank you for your support to get me to this point, because I feel like this is we doing this together. You reaching out to me, connecting with me, telling me your stories has all added to the lens I've now got about the running community and about runners in general, so I can take those into the book. So thank you for your part in supporting me. I appreciate you. Okay, we have 2 minutes for the 45-minute group. Again, you will come to a walk At 45 minutes, we'll do 2 strides. Shortly after, we'll say goodbye, and 60-minute group, we'll continue on. So just doing a few more check-ins this time on this one. Let's just, for the last minute, before a minute, do a quick scan down. You're not supposed to be this time trying to ask your body how you are, but just checking in with your body parts, reminding yourself that you're present in this moment. So I'm not going to prompt you, do it by yourself. Just scan down from the top of your head to your toes. You can imagine it like a wave, if you like, a wave of light. Oh, we've gone over. Guess I gave us a bit longer than I intended. Right, come to a walk if you are in the 45-minute group. And we'll just do a few strides in a minute. Got lost in a thought there, what I was going to tell you about, and then looked at the time. Steve has to leave at 6:10 each morning, and so I have to be done by then. I was just trying to calculate if I was okay time-wise. Sorry about that, friends. Okay, take another few more seconds. You can run 45 minutes. You don't really need a rest between doing some strides. So just going to do 2 more strides with a walk in between if you're 45, or a run in between, jog if you're 60. Okay, ready to begin? In 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and slow to a walk or a jog. And we'll do another one in about 20 seconds. And then 45-minute group. You can go check out Patreon, check out Rise Run Retreat, check out if the Tracksmith Boston event link is there. Are we ready to begin? In 3, 2, and 1. And come to a walk. Thank you, 45-minute friends. We'll see you Friday for a podcast episode with Sasha Wolf. We'll be talking about mental health. Really important episode. And I'll see you possibly next Monday for a together run. I may need a week off because of my trip to Boulder, depending on how that goes. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week or later in the week. Okay, 60-minute friends. We have about 12 minutes left, just under, and we can What can we talk about? Oh, I was going to talk about the fact that, what was I going to say? Something, so my daughter Bailey is 3. She has lately, we went to the circus a few weeks ago and she enjoyed it, really enjoyed it. And so I said, Mummy, one of Mummy's favourite movies is about a circus, which is, as you probably know, The Greatest Showman. And so she wanted to watch it, and so we watched it over 3 nights. She only gets short chunks of time to watch, and she liked it. I mean, she got a bit upset at times. Bailey's very, very empathic. She hates people being sad. As soon as she sees here's the music change, or she sees someone's face is sad, she usually starts crying and saying, I don't want them to be sad. It's just so sweet. And so, we had to explain those bits, which is really hard, by the way, when a kid in a movie keeps asking why and what and all the questions. And then I skipped through a few parts that were a bit adultish, like when the little boy gets slapped and things like that. And then last night she asked if she could start it again, which is fine. And so we did. But then she wants to listen to the music a lot now as well. And in one of the songs, it's called Never Enough. And it's about, I've talked about this a lot, how the woman, Jenny and Anne Barnum, the main guy, sorry, this is spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched it, but if you haven't, it's quite old at this point, so Never Enough, about how, as you say, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars we steal from the night sky will never be enough. So basically about never being happy. And so Bailey was like, why does she keep saying never? Why does she say never? What does that mean? And so trying to explain, kind of saying to her that she's saying she's not happy, she wants to be loved, she wants people to love her. But then, to a child, why? Why is she saying, why isn't she loved? Why does she say that? And it's just interesting, the things they make you think about and just the questions they provoke in you and how to explain it. And then there's that desire to protect them at all costs, in terms of there's that part of me that wants to skip through that song because I don't want her to think about that, and I want her to know that she is loved and she doesn't need all the stuff. But I also know I can't protect her from all that stuff. I'm never going to be able to protect her, and she's going to be around her. And so it's just interesting, you have that desire as a parent to, keep your child protected from all the bad things and all the negative in the world. But I feel in many ways like that's what's got us in a lot of the problems we're in now, by not seeing everyone as a human being and thinking about what another person is going through. And feeling their pain, understanding why they do what they do, because they're in pain. So I want her to feel that, but then it's sad to think that at 3 years old, that's where she loses that innocence of the world, So just something have been thinking about a little bit, and I'm sure many of you can relate. So I wanted to bring it up. Okay, so I'm headed back towards my house. We've got 7 minutes and we'll do our last 2 strides at about 57 minutes, because if you're doing 60 minutes, you don't need to have a walk in between. So you can just keep doing it as part of your run. And be sure to share about it afterwards. I love seeing that you do these with me. I love that we can imagine we're running together. And it helps me to feel connected. I just mentioned not long ago about my book, our book, and that community element is one of the 3 main things. And you are a part of that. You are my community. And it's cool. That said, Maria, who works with me in a running for real team, she has been asking the team, what does the word community mean to you? When you say community, what are you encompassing? What feelings, what experiences, what does that word mean to you? I'd love for you to think just for a minute or so about that word, because we hear it everywhere, right? And we use it ourselves all the time. But what does that word mean to you? Just take a few moments, and maybe we're far enough along this run that we might be able to remember that I asked this one, because I always forget. Okay. Answered it. Thank you for participating, joining in, thinking with me. It's fun to do. In our final few minutes, I may have you add on a few extra strides and minutes with me if I'm not going to be back quick enough. I'm going to trick you into some extra strides. But if you are, 60 minutes is absolute max for you and you're pushing the boat to do that, do not do the extras. If we even do extras, this is a good example of how I've judged it. I'm usually very good at judging distance, but we'll see. Okay, so got about a few more seconds and we'll do some strides. I'm going definitely uphill, so let's begin running a stride. I'm gonna let this man go, otherwise he's gonna think I'm racing him. Okay, begin a stride in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, come to a jog. Whew. Uphill stride that was. It's weird with Boston and New York and my 50k training, I need to stop doing that. I need to start just saying my full racing plans. I'm doing a lot of my workouts over hills. I've never really done that before. It's weird. Doing everything over rolling hills and trying to make my long runs as hilly as I can possibly make them. Elevation gain as high as I can. It's a weird feeling. All right, ready to begin next one? In 3, 2, and 1. And come to a jog. Where are we at? Just over a minute. And then I'm not going to make it back in a minute, but I might have you do one extra stride with me so I can get a bit closer to home. Tricked you, but you can handle one extra stride. Yeah, we'll do it as part of the run though. Okay. Gonna do one extra stride. Are you ready? In 3, 2, and 1. And come to a jog. And let's just do, for the final few seconds, one more scan through your body. How's it feeling? How are you feeling? Mentally, physically. Whenever you're ready, you can come to a walk. I'm going to just keep going till I get to my street. Not long, but ask yourself, how are you feeling? Okay, I'm coming to a walk. Remember to check out Patreon, Rise, Run, Retreat. Thank you for joining me, friends. Love having you with me. Love that we're part of this community. And be sure to tell me what community means to you. I'd love to hear it. I will see you on Friday for a Running For Real episode. I look out for pictures on Instagram of Zoe and I. And yeah, I will see you next week.
Before we end this episode, I just want to take a moment to shout out my podcast editor, Jeremy Nessel, who has done such a wonderful job of looking after my podcast, taking out all the mishaps in the episodes, while still keeping in the vulnerability and the realness and the rawness of the conversation. This is not one of those podcasts where I take out the ums and the ers and the sometimes the delay in words, because I think it's very important to keep that authenticity. We're surrounded by perfected and manicured everything, and I think it's really important that Running For Real stays that way. So thank you to Jeremy for your work. I also want to thank Maria Vargas and Amber Moore, who are also part of my team. They've been a big part of this community and me being able to build this brand. So just want to give them a shout out too. All right, let's get right back to the end of this episode.